Vlad in Belgrade writes to me, "Hey Paul, lately I can see, mainly in YouTube reviews and on forums, that a dispute is heating up between the two distinct groups of audiophiles. People who only acknowledge measurements as a means of judging the quality of a component, and people who dismiss measurements in favor of their subjective feelings." That didn't just start. That's been going on for as long as I've been, for 50 years. But anyway, people just get tuned in. Both groups are pretty dismissive of each other and don't care for the other group's arguments. What's your take on the subject? Should we only read measurements or play it by ear? Well, I'm much more of a centrist on that, Vlad, and we've talked about this before. You need both. When we work here at our bench, we rely upon our measurement equipment in order to build products. If we didn't have our measurement equipment, we couldn't do any of this. Measurements are critical. We have to know that it's low distortion. We have to know that the rise time is appropriate, that there's no overshoot, that there's no ringing. We have to know IM, THD. When we do speakers, we need to know the stored energy. When we shoot a waterfall plot with our equipment out there, with our microphones and our measuring equipment, we need to know how much stored energy is happening in the speaker, because we'd like to have zero, and the FR30 is getting pretty close. When we hit it with a pulse and then look, there's almost no stored energy, which is really exciting to us nerds. Most people don't even know what that means, could care less. They just want a speaker that sounds good, right? But that said, I think we should always be afraid or wary of any camp that says, this is the way it's done. Always, if it measures well, it sounds great. That's the end of the story. They are completely FOS. I've been told not to say naughty words because none of you have ever heard them before. So I'm going to say FOS. And someone who says the opposite, that it's all in the listening. If it sounds great, it is great, period, end of story, is also FOS. So just in general, I think in life, I mean, look at politics. Oh boy, here he goes, right? Anybody that's standing up and going, rah, 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 this is the way it has to be. You know, I will never wear a mask. It's the Supreme Court. What's this knucklehead on the Supreme Court of the United States won't wear a mask, and unbelievable. I mean, whatever happened to generosity, kindness? Like, I'm uncomfortable around you because I don't want to catch COVID, so would you please wear a mask? Sure. Would you please open the door for me because I have my hands full of groceries? Sure. Kindness, generosity, common sense. Give me a break. All right. I'm going to start getting off. I don't want to go into these areas. I think common sense and a middle-of-the-road place is a good, safe place to be. Because when things get too extreme in any one direction, you have to wonder if that's really what the right thing to do is. So at PS Audio, we spend a great deal of our time getting measurements to be exactly the way we need them to be and want them to be. And then we start the listening phase. Once we have it measuring properly, now we got to get it sounding properly. And then it goes back for measurements, sounding, measurements. And at the end of the day, we have a product that measures well and sounds great. That is what you want, in my ever so humble opinion. And if you believe that. All right. Thanks for the question. I'll talk to you later.